Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education, leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up his children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80%, they ain't know that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology, really. Dream but persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin. Just chase. Dr. Joe Griffin. Yeah. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up his children. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin. It's Dr. Joe Griffin. Introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up his children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history, all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80%, they ain't know that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Work your perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Do every day. Led 5 schools to increase test scores with his teacher principal collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you. Drive to the next.
Great day, leaders. Welcome to the Speaking Life into You Leadership live stream with Dr. Joe Griffin. That's me, your host, where we talk about educational trends, personal and professional development, leadership dynamics, and help you create a culture of collaboration, all while increasing your leadership capacity. I hope everyone is doing well today. Just want to check in how y'all doing out there, wherever you calling from, wherever you're tuning in from. Let's put that in the chat. Let's get that going. I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to know you. We just want to get in here and grow. Let's go. How can I create a culture of collaboration in my school or in my district? If you're with us, let us see where you're streaming in from. Definitely want to give you love and respect. So you could be anywhere. You could be anywhere in America, but you're here with us today, and you're trying to figure out some ways to help you create a culture of collaboration. Some of you are already in school. I know that. Some of you are preparing to go to school, whether it be in the next, it might be tomorrow, but it might be the next couple of weeks as well. And I know we got some people in other areas of the country that won't be starting until September. So with that in mind, again, thank you for taking this journey with me. Whether you are here in live or whether you're going to watch the recording, we're going to give you some value today. Each and every week when we come, we speaking life into you. So with that being said, I want to start with a couple of affirmations. Because you are an educator, that means you automatically are a leader. Whether you're a superintendent, principal, teacher, assistant teacher, classified workers, support staff, office staff, you are a leader. Let me hear you say, I am a leader. I am a leader. Say it to yourself. Say it loud and proud like you mean it, because it's very important that you use those affirmations every single day. Every single day. I embrace continuous learning. I embrace continuous learning. If you didn't embrace continuous learning, you wouldn't be here watching this live stream today. You wouldn't be right with us right now, trying to figure out ways to create a culture of collaboration. And the last affirmation for today, I strive for excellence. I strive for excellence. Say it to yourself. I strive for excellence. You are going into my 24th year in education, 17 administration. I know what you're going through. I know the pains that you're dealing with. Lack of teamwork, team unity, not being on the same page with one another. Stagnant teaching practices. Been using those same teaching practices for quite some time now. I know what you're dealing with. Professional development that's not relatable, that doesn't even have anything to do with what you're doing in school. And then it's given to you or presented to you by people that sometimes have never sat in those roles. Well, that's going to change today. Thank you for joining the Speaking Life into You Leadership live stream. That's going to get better. Because if you don't do something different, how can we get different results? If you don't do something different, how can you get different results? My experiences at every level, elementary, middle, high school, junior college, as well as senior college as teachers and administrators have helped me be in a position where I can come to you today and help you be able to create a culture of collaboration. We're going to be on a long journey all year. This is just the first one. Today, we're going to give you some tips. Then we're going to give you some of the platform layout as well as some of the resources that we provide here at Joe Griffin Global Consultants. So with that being said, it was too much to stop giving back. Had to give back, you all. Had to give back. With that, we're going to have a couple of recurring themes over the course of the live stream as well. And one of them is, what's in your slow cooker? What's in your slow cooker? I'm from the South originally, although I reside in Los Angeles, California right now. And we love to cook. What's in your slow cooker? When you're preparing food in the slow cooker, you've got to put your seasonings in it. You got to make sure it's prepped and ready to go. You got to constantly keep a watch on it, even though it's cooking slowly, because you want to make sure that it's right, that it's prepped, it's primed, it's ready to go, ready to be in its best form, its best set of action. So what's in your slow cooker? Your professional developments, the lesson planning, the teamwork, the lack of teamwork, because that gets in your slow cooker as well. The consistency. What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure that what you have in your slow cooker is helping you out? The studying, the continuous learning, the constant changes sometimes. All that is part of what's in your slow cooker. What are you doing to create that culture of collaboration. So with that being said, I want you to think briefly, what are some of your biggest challenges in creating a culture of collaboration? What are some of your biggest challenges? What are some of those things that you just can't figure out? Because we're going to give you some strategies today, about 10 or more, and possibly those that are with us, if they want some bonus strategies, maybe do some bonus strategies at the end. But what is your biggest hindrance to creating a culture of collaboration? Think about that for a second. Is it the time? You just don't have the time to put in to create? Is it the ideas? You don't have the ideas that you need to have in order to create a culture of collaboration? What's your biggest hindrance? Is it the people? Are that the people just, they're not ready to be on the same page or to work with and through other people like we do in teams? What is your biggest issue with creating a culture of collaboration? Put it in the chat at any time, because I definitely want to hear your thoughts. I want to interact with you. Definitely want to help. You can go faster alone, but you can go further together. That's what collaboration is all about. So make sure that you're always working with your team. We're going to get right into it, you all. I'm going to give you about 10 strategies to help you create a culture of collaboration so that you will be able to go into your schools, whether it be tomorrow, whether you've already started, or whether it be next month, where you can go in and put in some immediate implementations that are going to help you. A couple of things I want you to think about, and we'll recap these at the end. First off, collaboration is intentional, not random. I'm going to say that again. Collaboration is intentional. It's not random. Secondly, collaboration is a mindset. It's not a strategy. And collaboration is a journey, not a one-time event. So keep that in mind, you all. Everything that we talk about over the course of this year is going to be coming from our framework at Joe Griffin Global, which is instructional leadership, cultural leadership, and organizational leadership. Instructional, cultural, and organizational leadership. So today I'm going to give you some tips from each of those areas of leadership that you can do to create a culture of collaboration immediately in your school. One of the first strategies that you need to prepare to implement, because you've got to do the planning and you've got to prepare to implement, data talks. Data talks for every individual student. And these need to happen within the first 2 months of school. You need to be able to call them in, whether it be the principal, assistant principals, counselors, if you're in a small school or a mega school. Whatever the case, you need to make sure that every student has an opportunity to speak with an adult about their data. It's also an opportunity to talk about academic data, as well as behavioral data, as well as perhaps be able to give them some type of plan for the future or help them with their plans for the future. So data talks, we want to make sure that you implement them within the first 2 months of school. And here's the catch. Secondly, in addition to that, go ahead and schedule the follow-up for January after you come back from the holidays. That's important. So it won't be like a one-time event. Remember, collaboration is not a one-time event. It's something that you have to keep doing over and over again. So once you get that first data talk out of the way with your student, however you get them lined up, go ahead and schedule that second one for January. Those students are going to be working and being ready to see you in January. They're not going to want to let you down because they know that they're being checked on. They know that you are there for them. So make sure you give them that personalized feedback, help with that goal setting so that you can significantly impact student achievement immediately. Okay, data talks. Can't underrate the importance of data talks, and that is an instructional leadership input. Okay. Secondly, another instructional leadership input peer observations. Peer observations. Some people call them instructional rounds. Whatever the case, teachers learn best by watching other teachers teach. So it's important to make sure that you set up opportunities for them to be able to do just that. Allow them to get some buy-in so that they can gain ownership in the process. Allow them to set the norms, whether it be giving a couple of glows and a couple of grows out of the lesson or whatever it is. Allow the teachers to be able to set the norm, okay? Allow the teachers to be able to set the norms for that process. That's going to help make sure that that buy-in and ownership take place. Next, mentorship programs. Mentorship programs. And we talk about, of course, for students, but also for adults. Yeah, mentorship programs for adults. And I've got 3 implementations right here that you can use immediately to have every teacher in a group. You got your administrators in training group. That's your teachers who want to be leaders. They aspire to be administrators. There's no question about the direction that they're headed. So you want to make sure that you put them in a group, administrator and training group. That's going to help them get the confidence. That's going to help them to be empowered to be able to help you with some initiatives, but also to create that buy-in and that ownership. So that's very, very important. Next, your teacher leader group. Now, this is different from the administrators in training. Your teacher leaders, these are all your veteran teachers. These are your teachers who are not quite fresh out, so to speak, but they are still ready and primed and they're ready to get better. So these are your teacher leader group, okay? And then you have a mentee group. These are your novice teachers. These are your teachers who have just begun as well. So you want to be able to have everybody on your staff in a group. That's going to help with the collaboration. And you have to have regular meetings where you build on the skills that are particular to that group. Okay, so that's very important. 4th, instructional input. Visuals. Visuals enhance the learning by 65 to 400%, depending on the individual. That's right, 65 to 400%. When the learning is accompanied by visuals, that's how much the learning increases. So it's very important that you have those thinking maps, graphic organizers, and you have an emphasis on visuals. That's really a whole initiative within itself. We could talk days about visuals and the importance of making sure that they are in your rotation at your school. So that's about 4 instructional inputs right there. Data talks, a mentor program, peer observations, and the emphasis on visuals. That's 4 instructional inputs that you definitely need to use immediately to help you create a culture of collaboration. Which one of those did you like? Which one are you already using? Which one do you know that you need to get better at? Those are things that we always want to think about because we want to keep our slow cooker on the right pace. We got to constantly be adding tools to our toolkit. All right, constantly putting seasoning, making sure that everything is cooking properly. Okay, so that's very important as well. Gonna give you some cultural leadership inputs that you can immediately input. Culture, how we operate, the climate every day. That's important. Lesson planning. If you have the ability to make it optional for the day that teachers turn in lesson plans, allow them to choose that. That will make a big difference in your collaborative processes across the year. Just that simple thing, allowing them to pick which day that they want to turn in lesson plans. Secondly, in addition to that, and this goes together, if you're not on a professional development schedule, You also want to be able to choose which day they had their PLC meetings, their professional learning community meetings. Now, again, that's out of the door if you're on a, say, a Wednesday PD schedule and you get out at 1:30, or on a Tuesday schedule, you get out at 2 o'clock each day just for that. There's no options in those. But if you have the option on the days that teachers meet in their professional learning communities, as well as on the days that they turn in a lesson plan, that's a good way to gain some buy-in and some ownership. So make sure you're doing that. That's a cultural leadership input. Another cultural leadership input, and these are things that you could do immediately. Teacher celebration board and a teacher collaboration board. Let me explain. A teacher celebration board, that's where you're going to celebrate the accomplishments of the teachers. You're going to have a picture of them, their hobbies, the college that they went to, the course that they teach, and just a basic informational about the teacher. And you're going to celebrate those teachers on that board. Here's the next thing, and this takes it a step further. That's one of the things about discipline culture plus instructional practice equals performance and the DIP approach. It's always a system within a system. The teacher collaboration board, this board is nothing but pictures of teachers working together. Whether you call them in the classroom, lesson planning together, whether they did an outside project together, whether they brought their classes together, whatever it is they work together to do and collaborated to do, you're going to take a picture of it and put it on the teacher collaboration board. This will immediately encourage teachers to work with other teachers because they're going to want to be on that board. They're going to see the camaraderie. They're going to see the teamwork. They're going to see the other teachers working together. And that makes a big difference. Remember, collaboration is a mindset. It's not a strategy. So you have to constantly work on the minds of those that you want to collaborate. So important. Departmental outings to sporting events. Plan ahead. You can't wait until the season starts to think that teachers are going to immediately be able to stop what they're doing and then go out to the basketball or the football game with the English department. That's unrealistic. So schedule them out in the beginning. Get your department leads to schedule when the math department is going to come to the basketball game or when they're going to come to the first football game. Creating a culture of collaboration, ensuring that your people work together, whether it be at the school or whether it be at events, it's still collaboration. Because if we make that connection leads to empowerment, and that empowerment leads to collaboration. Connection, empowerment, collaboration. So important. Student voice and leadership. This is another cultural leadership input. Student voice. You want to go ahead from the beginning implementing your student government associations. SGA, it's important. Or your student council, whichever one you want to call it. But it's important to get those student leaders, get those voices heard. You want to collaborate not only with the teachers, but also with the student body, because they are the ones that's actually performing on the state test. They're the ones that are actually taking the courses in your classes. They're the ones that's actually doing the work. We want the teachers facilitating the work, but the students are actually doing the work. So that's really, really important that you promote student voice and leadership. So those were some cultural leadership inputs. We had creating a teacher celebration board as well as a collaboration board. We looked at those as differently. Okay. We talked about allowing lesson plans to be turned in on the day that the staff chooses instead of the administration chooses the day. So important. Okay. That is crucial, as well as the PLC day if you're not on a professional development schedule. So that's also important. Those departmental outings. That's crucial, you all. So make sure you go ahead and be intentional about creating a culture of collaboration. Those are some cultural leadership inputs. Now for some organizational leadership inputs. Your organizational leadership inputs, they focus on the future. They focus on ensuring and sustaining what you're establishing as the leader. Also as the teacher, because remember, all these strategies, you can bump them down from the district to the building to the classroom. You got to think as a leader. Organizational input. Monday morning memo. Monday morning memo is actually a combination of organizational and cultural leadership input, but it's organizational because you constantly talk about what you got going on in your school. You're constantly communicating. You're making your people trust you. They know that each week you're going to come with information that is important to them. If any of you follow me on social media, you know that I do a Monday morning memo each week. But that's so that I can communicate with my people, with my followers. So make sure that as leaders and as teachers, that Monday morning memo is so important. And here's the implementation piece. Hand deliver it door to door. That's going to be better than your email. Of course, you can always come back and email it, but go door to door each Monday morning. Make sure that your students and your staff see you. Hand deliver it. You get eyes on everything. You get a chance to fill out the mood of the school. That is crucial as a leader. You want to get off to a great start on Mondays, okay? You want to get off to a great start, because if you get off to a great start on Mondays, it's a very good chance that you'll still be going strong by Friday. Collaboration is a mindset. So set the mentality each and every week when you get in there. Block out time. Again, if you're at a small school, the principal may be able to do it by himself. If you're at a mega school, you may have to get your assistant principals to enlist in some of that work as well. But you want to take those door to door. You want your students to see you. Your visibility is your ability. So make sure that you take advantage of that ability each and every week, whether it be you as the designee, as the principal, whether it be your assistant principals or some other designee from the school. You got to make sure that you're visible each and every week. And a Monday morning memo is a great way to ensure that that occurs. Recognize, reward regularly. I know that many of you already do this, I'm sure. But if you've been doing 2 teachers of the month or 2 students of the month, it's time to go to 4 this year. If you've been giving a parent award monthly, it's time to do 2 per month. Each year, each round, you want to go higher and higher and get better and better and provide different avenues, provide more hope, more things that your people can relate to, that they believe in, that they want to be a part of. So the more you give rewards for earning that they've earned, the better off you'll be as well. So make sure you recognize and reward regularly. Promote continuous learning. Promote continuous learning. Encourage your people to get outside degrees, advanced degrees. Encourage them to go to outside professional developments. Encourage them to participate in the professional developments that are in the school. Encourage them to lead some of them. Continuous learning. That was one of our affirmations. I embrace continuous learning. That means in every aspect. As leaders, as teachers, you have to be secure in what you bring to the table. So make sure that you embrace continuous learning. So a couple of those cultural inputs. That was the Monday morning memo. We talked about recognizing and rewarding regularly. And then we talked about continuous learning. Make sure that that's an emphasis. So that's about 10 instructional, cultural, and organizational leadership inputs that we've given to you already. So I'll give some bonus ones at the end if someone remembers and they put in the chat and they say, hey, what about those bonus strategies, Dr. Joe? I'll make sure that I give some bonus strategies as well, because I'm looking at about 20 or 30 of them that I've actually implemented in schools that were great. And if you want some more of them, make sure you reach out to me as well. I'll put my information up at the end. So if you found value in any of those 10 instructional, cultural, or organizational leadership outputs, let's post that in the chat. Tell us what you found valuable from those. Okay. All right. So quick recap of those, and then we'll go on to the next part, data talks. We talked about that being for individual students, but also scheduling the follow-up for second semester. Doing that now, make sure that happens within the first 2 months of school, just to give yourself enough time to make sure that occurs. Peer observations. Remember, teachers learn best by watching other teachers teach. Don't wait until November to implement them, you all. Okay? Go ahead and implement your peer observations from the beginning while everyone is fresh, while everyone is eager to learn. Make sure that you start what you can keep up. That way you want to keep pushing it forward. We talked about visuals and thinking maps, graphic organizers. Remember that 65 to 400%, the learning is increased by 65 to 400% when it's accompanied by visuals. Mentorship programs, gave you 3 specific ones that you can implement right now in your school. The admin and training program, that's for your teachers who you already know want to be leaders. They may have already gotten educational leadership degrees. They may not, but they want to be administrators. Admin and training group. Set a time for them to meet, allow them to lead some initiatives, put them in positions of empowerment. That's going to help you, okay? Your teacher leader group, that's all your teachers that are not in the administrative and training group and that aren't novice or new teachers. All of them are going to go in your teacher leader group because all teachers are leaders. All students are capable. It's the model that drives us. So treat your teachers as leaders, and teachers, you got to know that you're a leader, okay? You've got to know that you are a leader. So very important. And some cultural outputs. We talked about being able to choose lesson plan days. And we also talked about being able to choose days for PLC meeting if you're already not on a professional development schedule for the year. We talked about the teacher celebration board as well as the teacher collaboration board. Those are good strategies, you all. Gonna build up your culture of collaboration. It's intentional. Remember, it's intentional. We talked about scheduling departmental events to our sporting events. So make sure that you get your leaders from the department to schedule some social outings to our games. Remember that's important. The students want to see you there. They need your support. They want you to be there supporting them. Student voice and leadership, SGA, student council, implement them. Don't wait. You want to go ahead and get those students started with their leadership track right now. Soon as school starts, try to have that ready. We talked about the Monday morning memo, hand delivering it, being able to get the vibe of your school each and every week. They're going to be ready for you. Once you make that a consistent practice, that's going to boost your school off to a great start each and every week. Recognize and reward regularly. Make sure you, again, up those amounts of rewards that you've been given in your school. Make it a place of collaboration. Make it a place where you are constantly highlighting achievement. And we talked about embracing continuous learning. Embracing continuous learning. Again, that's a mindset. That's a mindset. All right. So we want to always push our people to next, greater, and higher levels. And by embracing continuous learning, we're able to do that. So if you found some value in some of those strategies, let me know. Let me know. Put the message in the chat. So as we transition into what's in our slow cooker for the Speaking Life into You Leadership live stream, where are we going? Where are we headed? What's our first 9 weeks agenda? First off, again, I want to give you gratitude and appreciation. I appreciate you being here, whether you are here live or whether you're catching this recording. Thank you for taking the time to get this message. It's important because collaboration is key. Collaboration is key. Remember that. Creating a culture of collaboration must be intentional. It's not random. You got to purposefully create a culture of collaboration. It's something that happens over and over again. It's not a one-stop shop. Okay? It's a mindset, not just a strategy. Collaboration is a mindset. It's not just a strategy. You working with and through people, that's something that you have to purposefully do each and every day. Whether you're a leader, whether you're a teacher, whatever role you're in, collaboration is key if you're going to be successful. It's a journey, not a one-time event. Just because we collaborated to get the quiz bowl together, that doesn't mean that we collaborated when we needed to prepare our lesson plans. It's a journey. It's not a one-time event. It's something that we're going to do over and over and over again in your school. So make sure that you are doing those things. Give me your biggest takeaway. You got a big takeaway from today. I am interested in hearing what's your biggest takeaway. I know you got something, but I need to hear what your biggest takeaway is. And I want to ensure that there's a call to action for you to implement something. There's no way you got all 10 of those implemented. So make sure you implement something in your practice, because those are implementation that you can do immediately. So a little bit more about me and the show. First off, over the course of the next 9-10 weeks, we've got some wonderful guests lined up. We've got educational leaders from nearly every part of the country coming through to shed leadership light on us, to help create a culture of collaboration. I'm modeling how to create a culture of collaboration every single week. When we get people on, we're going to highlight them, share their ideas, learn from them, and learn with them. We learn with and through others. So that's what we want to continue to do. Next, we will have Dr. Robert Curtin out of Columbia, South Carolina. He has done a lot. He's an author, area superintendent, won over $1 million worth in grants. He's a consultant. So we'll be talking about assessing team dynamics on next week. How can I assess my team's dynamics? Okay, how can I assess my team's dynamics? Now, as we kind of review just a little bit, I want to again hone in on what we talked about. Collaboration is intentional, it's not random. It's a mindset, not just a strategy. And it's a journey, not just a one-time event. Say these affirmations again. I am a leader. I embrace continuous learning. I strive for excellence. Keep striving for excellence. Keep staying inspired. So I do want to share some of the things that I have that are coming from my framework as well. We'll be looking at a lot of these things over the course of the year, over the first 9 weeks, as well as the second, third, and fourth 9 weeks also, because we're going to constantly bring value to you, constantly give you information that you can use, that you can implement immediately. I'm big on solutions. I'm big on motivation, but I'm also big on providing strategies and solutions that you can implement. If you don't have this book, it's the DIP Approach for Educators Success Manual. Discipline culture plus instructional practices equals performance. It can be found on Amazon. About 6 of the strategies that we talked about are in the book, outlined step by step. In this book, there are 40 step-by-step implementations that any educator can use, and that's educational leaders or teachers, because remember, everything goes down from your district to the building to the class. Everything works together. Okay. So Dip Approach for Educator Success Manual, that is a must read. Make sure you get it. The Dip Approach for Student and Adult Success and SEL Curriculum for Life. This is a 33 principle model. And the D, Dream with Desire. 9 principles. The I, Initiate and Invest in Yourself. The first P, Push Past Pain. And the last P, Persist with Purpose. Full of graphic organizers, thinking maps, big on visuals, as I've already said. So it is a great piece for young leaders as well as for adults, because it's for students and adults. So make sure you get it as well as the guidebook. This is the curriculum, and then here you have the reader, the guidebook. They do go hand in hand, or they can be used singularly or in unison, but they do come together. Dip Approach for Student and Adult Success. And my latest educational book, which is coming out next month. Y'all, this is it. Empowering Educational Communities, a guide to teacher principal collaboration. It's a back and forth between teachers and principals, designed to be a case study. Comes with 12 professional development that's gonna help you go along with the book. So make sure when it drops, make sure you get this one. Educational Communities, a guide for teacher principal collaboration. Again, it's a case study meant to be used as a back and forth between teachers and principals to hold each other accountable. And then it comes with some amazing educator empowerment reflections from my career as a teacher, as well as an assistant principal and principal. Real world application in that. Okay. From the organizational leadership side, I also believe in integration of the arts as therapy. Integration of the arts as therapy, whatever the art is of your choice, whether it be poetry in my case, whether it be music, film, design, craft, whatever it is. Make sure you're involved in the art that provides you the therapy that you need. Home of the Blues, Poems for the Spirit, Heart, and Soul. Dream Season, motivational poems for the spirit, heart, and soul. Dreams for the spirit, hope for the heart, energy for the soul in that one. Then Christian poetry for the spirit, heart, and soul. Prayers, affirmations, and insights. Those are a little bit about the works that I provide. In addition to that, I am a keynote speaker, leadership consultant, and I do ELA consulting as well. I was an English teacher. I am an English professor. So I believe in the power of literacy. That's why I'm so big on reciprocal teaching strategies, stations, and things of that nature that are going to help our students be more adept at reading. So with that being said, we are getting ready to come to a close of our first Speaking Life in the U Leadership live stream. You are a leader. You do embrace continuous learning, and you do strive for excellence. Always remember, you all definitely appreciate your time. Thank you for coming out. Make sure you're here with us next week. Again, we'll have Dr. Robert Curtin from Columbia, South Carolina. He's going to bring a wealth of knowledge. I can't wait for that. But otherwise, continue to be the best that you could be. Always do what you need to do to strive and thrive. Dr. Joe signing out, you all. Always speaking and writing life into you. Have a great day, you all. Thank you so much for joining.